Good evening and welcome to the stream. This is part 20 of our ongoing journey to finish Might and Magic 2 on the Mac. I still have a cold, so you will have to bear with my voice once again, but I'm hopefully slowly improving by this point. We spent most of last stream mapping the outside areas. We finished all of the 4 areas. The A4, B4 and D4 squares. So counting the last night on the map, we've mapped 14 squares out of the 20, so we're about 2/3 done. We still haven't finished the squares that are marked the Desert of Isolation or Desolation on the map. And we still have the top squares from A1 to E1 to go, and those are the ones that we are going to focus on tonight. We might also pop by Castle Pinehurst because we found Sherman on last night's stream, so perhaps Lord Peabody now will give us access to the time machine. I'll also pop by the circus a few times to see if it's there, because we haven't solved that quest yet. We need to go to the Pool of Radiance, and we need to go to the circus with the Cupid doll, but we don't know exactly what it is that we need to do there. So we might give that a shot if we find the circus is there. I have a feeling it's only there for a few days out of the year, and we've gone back a few times now to check, but haven't found it so far. So it's day 136 in the game, so we'll see. Let's see here. Getting things out of the way here, which are in my way. Let's go. Now, we saved the game in the town of Tundara. Our status is decent. We have about 400,000 gold. We've given up one of the hirelings from the earlier streams, and we now just have the one hireling, Sir Hiron, which is now 12,000 per day. So I try not to rest too often. 12,000 is a bit when you're only mapping. And it so happens that the reason we saved in Tundra last night was that it's on the outer edges of the map. So I want to go now to the all the way to X0Y15 on this map here. I will bring up my notes here as well and start writing in them as I've done throughout this entire series. Now we are in A1, so ding dong, hello there, Mr. Gleaser, welcome to the stream. We just started. We are starting to map A1 here. We found the access to the time of air here, which is at X0Y15 in A1. A violent vortex of swirling wind creates a passage to the time of air. Enter. We haven't done any of the elemental planes yet, and we probably won't until near the end of the game, but it's good to know where it is. They are all on the border of the map. So, as before, we will walk the map downwards and again upwards to try to trigger everything in the map. And we are likely to run into elementals here, so it's a good idea to have the protection from elements spell active. Now, through your party's harrowing travels in the elemental plane of air, the clerical spellcasters have come to an understanding of the area and have formulated the spell Air Encasement. So, That is one of the earliest spells in the game in terms of the planes. It is a level 5 spell, and the air transportation spell, which we will also learn at some stage, is a level 4 spell. And this would then be, if the game is consistent, the easiest elemental plane in the game. Whereas the fire one, which is probably should be the most difficult. And we face 2 of these air elementals here. We will cast disintegration and start taking them down using any method we can. One of them is already down, and now 2 of them are. We will take care to cast the protection from element spell again, so that we are ready to face them when we meet some more of them. Now here is a square. We are in X2, Y3. I will make a note of this as well. A frozen fountain's water swirls under a bed of ice. Break and drink. Now, what we do in these cases is that we take a quick snapshot of the character, and then we take a sip, and then we watch for any changes that have potentially been made to the character. It seems on quick glance that every character has gained 2 levels. So this is a way of gaining 2 levels. It's either gaining 2 levels or it sets the level to 25. At least the level is now at 25, where it was at 23, but however every character was at 23, so it's difficult to figure out whether it's just setting it for everyone or whether it's just a +2. I doubt that drinking again will do anything. No, it does not. So this is a way to level up a little bit temporarily. Perhaps before going into battle, I gave some thought to going back to Dawn's Mist Cavern after drinking from the fountain in the area next to it, which increased our might up to, I think it was 200, because we might be able to take her on if we go there in that particular state. So we will think about that. It's one of the few things in the game that we still haven't completed. There is very little happening here so far. We ran into a couple of more of these air elementals here. And, I wonder if we can know. We take them down fairly easily. They are easier than the water elementals that we did that we tried out yesterday, which were close to Atlantium. And we will cast the protection from element spell again. It is certainly helping us. So there was a blizzard there. We ran into 2 of these air elementals here again. Go back to the square where we were before we got hit with the blizzard. Now this side of the map here, it's the elemental plane of air. On the other side here below, it's snow. So Tundara is in the snowy regions of this map. And we already mapped the square below. Find ourselves in an avalanche here. Rest and recast the spell. We lost a few hit points getting hit with the avalanche. We can't cast a teleport spell here. Oh, we cannot. Okay. That certainly makes things a little bit more difficult. But okay. Of course we get hit with the elementals again because we left the map. We are running out of food here, so we will have to run back to town anyway fairly quickly to once we've done maybe half of this map here, we will run back to town to save the progress that we've made. We are getting closer to the town anyway. You find a lone deserted outpost on the edge of the elemental plane of air. As you sift through the ruins, an ancient scroll is found bearing the lost spell Air Transmutation. So we've now gained the Air Transmutation spell, and we are slowly getting to the point where we have every spell. We have not found Nature's Gate yet. It's somewhere along the way. We got blown away by some snowdrift. We will have to go past it. Some more air elementals here for us. Might have to heal a little bit here. Got hit earlier before. Let's cast the create food spell. Share the food. The rest. And cast the protection from element spell. We are pretty much done with the area before the town here, so we might as well just finish it up before returning back to Tundara, which is right here next to us anyway. On this tiny bale of green land is the town of Tundara. Some snitches and friars here on the edge of town. Looking for a good time. Let's give them what they're looking for. Little healthy battle. Blizzard there. Run back up to finish mapping these particular squares here. And then go back to town and save the progress that we made here. Start by visiting the tavern and buying some of the food. I'm going to test something out here. We still haven't solved the riddle here with the riddle of the food here. So I now bought one of every meal. I'm going to visit the gourmet later, and after we buy every meal in every town, see if he wants to talk to us then. Got cost the protection from element spell. That is not good. In case we run into any more of the air elementals. I think this is actually the last square here. Yes, it is. So we are now just about done with this map here. Okay, A1 is done now, and we are then in B1. Ran into one of these snowdrifts again. Blizzards are annoying as well. We'll have to go past the snowdrift. Finally, more blizzards. I must say I'm not a huge fan of the game and its these snow drifts and the earthquakes and all these random things that occur on the outside. They appear to be mostly annoying, trying to stop you from being able to successfully map these areas. Don't really see the point of them. Oh, here's a cave entrance at X4, Y12. We won't enter it just yet. We will do so once we've completed mapping the square. We ever do due to all of these endless snowdrifts. Now on X5, Y5 is Lord Haart. We've heard him mentioned before. We will no doubt pay him a visit a little bit later. And many of these locations that we're finding here are not locations that are triggered going in one direction, so the fact that we have to constantly do this means that if we weren't diligent and checking every single spot multiple times, that we would miss some of these locations. We need to go heal Pink Panther. We had one snowdrift too many here. I'm just going to run here into town and have him healed at the temple. And then I'm going to go save again. And then we'll go on with the mapping. Which at this point in the game is getting ridiculously tiring with the blizzards. Now, hidden behind all of these endless blizzards is the Guardian Pegasus, and he asks what his name is, and we already know this. It was scribbled on a wall. The Pegasus is called Minu. It's set in the Forbidden Forest Cavern. Correct, your word is 100,000 gold. Search and you will find it. Okay. We found 100,000 gold, and we can visit him every year, it says, so we are just about to get to a new year. It's day 145 in the calendar here. Now here's a fountain in X11Y14. We will again take a quick snapshot here before drinking from the fountain. Our might has been increased to 40. So now we know what it does. We are slowly getting out of this snowdrift here, which is welcome. Fairly tired of these blizzards. Explore the bottom part now. Okay. Now that sign says shortcut Pinehurst. That is interesting. How is it a shortcut to Pinehurst? Chopping the tall trees of the timberlands, muscular man sing, "Oh, I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay." They challenge you to fell a tree. Yes. Okay. We can't complete this right now, but one obvious thing we could do is we could visit the fountain here. King our might 240 and then simply try again. Well done, Brute. Your prize is an instant keep. Okay. Which is the shelter item. That's an interesting little quest, if rather simple. Nothing more here. So we go into C1. We've already mapped C1. That basically leaves D1 and E1. And once we finish those two, we have nothing left except E2 and E3. Take a nice stroll through the woods here and have a nice little fight with these with our friends here. Now what I will do now is I'll take a little trip to over to Volcania and save there, and we will travel from there when we map this. The way to Volcania, there are these random points where you always get where you constantly get ambushed, so you have to have these little fights. They're not particularly difficult, but still in the way and on the road. We will finish them off, and I will go into Volcania and save the game, sell some of the stuff that we've looted. Here is Volcania. The bar is here. The blacksmith is up here. The spear plus 12. And the long dagger. I think we'll just sell them. But they are certainly worth something. We are at the moment just about keeping ourselves in the black by exploring with the hirelings, or the hireling rather. It's a singular at this point. I will do as I did over in Tundara. I will start here on the fire edge of the map and work my way inwards. This is the most difficult, or should be the most difficult of the plains. Now we are in E1. X15 Y15, which is the elemental plane of fire. And here we can return to the time of fire, which we're not interested in doing right now. Perpetually surrounded by fire, your cleric devises a new form of attack. Fire encasement will devastate future enemies. So, fire encasement is here at the level 8, and somewhere along here we will also find the fire transmutation spell. We find ourselves in a battle here with a mix of different beasts. 2 of these fire elementals. 4 of the acid-based ooze warriors, a ghost, and a dwarven elder. These are all quite difficult, and we don't seem to be fully rested. So we are going to have a tough time here. I will simply allow ourselves to die here, and we will start this one again after resting and saving after resting. It's not a good idea to check into the inn without having fully recovered the characters. There are lots of these pools of bubbling lava here. They take the turn of the blizzards in annoying us while mapping. It's time to have this fight again. We've swapped out the acid-based monsters for the archer, but in general this seems to be by far the most difficult of the fights that we've had in the plains so far. Already lost a party member. The archer is a difficult enemy in by itself. Has the ability to cast these lightning bolts. Well, let us try this once more. I will now try to cast the power shield spell as soon as we are in battle. Now, this was a bad path. Let's go this way instead. We'll cast the protection from elements, and then we will run into these friends of ours here. We've had a change of pace. We now have the sorceresses here, so this is near impossible. One more try, and then I'll decide that this is too tough for us right now, and we'll deal with the elemental plane of fire later. Potentially leaving us in the position of not having mapped E1, 2 and 3, which seem to be at this stage in the game very difficult for us. Here we are. At least we get a chance to actually do something before we get killed. We'll cast a power shield spell, which should protect us a little bit. Perhaps we can win this one. Although it certainly is difficult. Prior attack is dead. And None of the fire elementals are. Oh, well, one of them is dead now. Finally, they go down, and I'll cure the poison here and rest before searching. And we barely made it through, so I think we will head back to town and heal the cleric at the temple. I'll sell some of this loot here. Chainmail +9 and an icicle. I'll check out what the icicle is. Whether it's just a single-use item or it's actually a weapon. It's actually a weapon and can be used by the knights and the paladins. It is a single-handed weapon though. We will sell it. But it's at least worth something. We will get a little bit of gold for it. Let's go back outside and see about mapping the rest here. Hope there aren't many more of these barrels. They are quite difficult for us still. Sometimes those are also the best in terms of leveling up. Here's another encounter. Two of the fire elementals, a dancing dead, a rock and some leprechauns, a super sprite. This one isn't particularly easy either, they're very difficult. We'll raise the cleric from our almost dead state. Also cure the robber who got attacked to almost death. William Tell can't cast this spell again. Let's use the... Sir Hiron is dead. That is not, indeed, not great. I will cast the power shield here. More important to us to get the shield up. Going to attempt to raise Sir Hiron here in the middle of a battle and cure him as well. A rock is difficult to deal with, but he goes down eventually. Another encounter. Will not quite ready for this, but it's not quite as difficult as the others. cast the power shield here. And the protection from elements that we hadn't cast already. And we'll use the power cure here to cure up William Tell. This is really the easiest so far. We just got extremely unlucky in that we weren't really expecting a fight here. I wasn't expecting another fight in these squares, must admit. Figured we had already been through one, so there wouldn't be another one. I was wrong. We are almost keeping ourselves alive here through the use of spells, and we got lucky and survived this one as well. Rest and search for treasure. And we will make it up to the top of the map here and then run back down to finish mapping. Then I think we will head straight to town again. Let's be smart and cast the protection from element spell before getting out of town. Chances are we'll run into some more friends here. Shining into darkness. Don't believe I played that. Is that an RPG, Gizzer? Sega Mega Drive, okay. Okay, Tundra Cavern, okay. Yeah, Might and Magic certainly does require us to pay some thought to what we're doing. Now, this fountain here is well hidden, and the game is making it difficult for us to get to it, so it's either trolling us or there is something valuable to be found by drinking from it. Extra lemon Y2. Let's take a quick snapshot here. Before we drink from it, then probably someone died, at least. Might be one of those. Yeah, it probably is. Yeah. Okay, that was a waste of time, but can't get lucky every time. Cast the protection from element spell here, just in case. Now we know the next square is a lava pool. I'm not very interested in stepping into it again, so I'll jump over it. And this is another encounter, this time with some Amazons mixed into this. Things could be worse. I will cast the power shield here. And we will try to start healing here before we all end up dead. Luckily for us, at this point in the game, Sir Lancelot is a strong enough clerical caster to actually be useful in battle. He has a few rounds of healing in him, and in fact enough probably for us. And he's also strong enough to stay alive for a good while during battle, so that is certainly helpful. And we bring them down here. Cast a protection from element spell again. There might be another fight here before we reach the end of the map. 3 pools of bubbling lava here, much to our amusement. I'll jump over them on the way back. And I think we've done enough. I think we'll head down and save. We might get ourselves into a battle we can't win at any time. Inscribed upon a plaque in an old fort overlooking the deadly elemental plane is the spell Fire Transmutation. So now we found both the Fire Transmutation and the Fire Encasement spell, which means that we have every spell in the clerical spell book except for Nature's Gate. Here we find ourselves in a battle with the fire elementals once again. This time around, they are joined by the less fun Endless Night. So I will cast the power shield here. We will start working on the fire elementals. Now, of course, when we're using Sir Roland to heal the party, we obviously can't use him as well to to fight in battle, so that's a bit of a drag. This time around, the fire elemental got the best of us here. And we've now lost all party members, so this was a little bit too difficult. And this is why we regularly save the game, is in these battles we are just on the verge of being able to finish them. We don't need to get very unlucky to end up dead. Oh, this is a slightly different tune here. We have the Melting Men, which are not much fun either, but they have slightly fewer hit points. This time around they killed the robber in the first attempt, so that was not good for us. Attempt to raise him from the dead here. And hopefully get a chance to heal him before he's killed again. Not very worried about the lepers here. They will mostly run away. We'll be done with them before we have to really worry. But I will have to spend my cure points here on Sir Roland so he doesn't end up dead. And I will then use the remove condition spell to unparalyze the robber, in the hope that he can help us a little bit. Yeah, really need to get rid of the fire elemental at this stage. It's he's causing a crap load of damage every turn. It finally goes down, and we can use the Deadly Swarm spell with some of the remaining lepers, of which there are actually plenty. There are 23 of them left here, annoyingly enough. And given our current state, I think it's wise to try to use the spells on them. Now they're running away finally, and they end up dead. Courtesies here. That was a mistake. I will cast the Protection from Elements spell. Hoping that this isn't just a bunch of lava pits here, but they really are. And let's see. We'll jump over this one. And this one as well. And this one. Was this a pit? No, it was not. Just an end here. Try to finish one more square before returning back to town. So much lava. Jump over it. Oh, chances are there is something fun waiting for us. down there, so I will head back to Volcania and sell the loot and save the progress before continuing. We're more than halfway done, so we are making some progress here. I will rest after walking through the lava in case we run into any more of our fire elemental friends here. It would not be nice to face them while we're slightly damaged after going into the lava pits. We'll jump over them again here. Okay, we seem to have found ourselves in the midst of an actual volcano here. We'll do one more square before going back to town. Every square here is lava. We know this one isn't. Danger lava, the sign says. So 1, 2, 3, 4. We need to jump 5 squares here. Oh, here's a fight. Bunch of bloodsuckers and some men-at-arms, along with our usual friend, the fire elemental. This is at least a fairly easy mix of enemies to go with the fire elemental. It's basically might as well just be facing the fire elementals. The bloodsuckers will all either perish or run away, so not too worried about them, and we're able to cure.
Yeah.
Maybe I should host the show.
Hey Ash, welcome to the stream. Thanks so much for the host. So much might and magic. We are in the elemental plane of fire right now, just outside the town of Volcania. Finishing going through all the outside areas. We are making slow progress here. X4Y7. My day was decent enough. I still have this nasty cold. A churning sound resonates from the man-made cave opening of Gem Maker Volcano. So we'll leave this for now. We will finish mapping first. How about you, Ash? How was your day? Busy, I heard. Here's a drinking fountain, one of many in the game. The last one was a troll, but you never know with this game. So we are where we are in X3 Y10. The last one killed us, but we'll try everything once. I'll see. I took a snapshot of the character before drinking to make sure that I know what it does. And seemingly it does very little. I can't see that it made any difference whatsoever. Does not appear to have done anything to us. And I'll check it once again after resting. It's possible that it altered something, but I can't see it. So it remains a mystery. Now mapping this is going very slowly because the entire surface is covered in lava, which means that we keep getting seriously injured and having to rest, recast our spells. We are making slow progress nonetheless. It all takes some time because you have to approach every square from both directions, so I can jump over them now. I'm going to do so, teleport 4 squares forward and turn around, go into town, sell what we found, and we are hemorrhaging money a little bit because we have to pay the hireling characters even though we're not actively finding any treasures, so we are on net negative right now. We are paying them some 12,000 a day and we are not really finding much in terms of treasure. Now, this is just a fight that is meant to make it difficult for you to visit this town in the early stages of the game, and in the later stages it does get a little bit annoying to have it every time. As a general rule, the roads in the game generally do not have any encounters, so if you travel by the road you are safe from encounters. That is not the case with this particular road, and that's the only case I know of in the game. We are out of the elemental plane of fire here. Seem to have finished mapping that, thankfully. There is an endless amount of lava, and we are continuously resting to recuperate, so that also means that we're endlessly paying the hirelings again and again. I will not revisit the the squares that are filled with lava. I do it on a general basis for every other square, because you can have squares that are only active if you're coming from a certain direction, but with the lava squares they already have something going on, so that is not the case. You don't need to constantly visit them from every location. It's weird that this little area is leading up to this fountain we found that we didn't really see did anything for us. But it might have done something nonetheless. One thing that I will do now, I will check into this town and sell some of this loot here, and I think there was a scale here somewhere. Or was that in Atlantium? Might have been in Atlantium. No, it's not in Atlantium. Or it was probably in Volcania. There was a scale here somewhere that allowed us to step on the scale and see our current protection from the various elements. And I want to see what our current status is with that. It might have not have been here, it might have been in the third town as well, but I seem to remember it actually being here. Here is the scale. Okay, so Lancelot is 14, 44, 5, 30 and 30. Our resistance depends on the armor that we are wearing, as well as the items that we have equipped. So they vary quite a bit. And some of them also grow with each level. Generally the spellcasters, they become immune to many of the standard spells, but doing okay, if not perfectly. Now, let's go over to the next square over, and we'll have this little fight with the kobolds here for our amusement. Go over to the next square and finish mapping it, and then we'll go visit some of the caves that we found in B1. I think there were 2 places we didn't finish there. We'll finish them first, and then we might come back to this volcano cave that we found here and take a stab at that, see if we are level high enough to do that. There isn't a great deal of things on the outside that we haven't completed at this point. We are slowly finishing all of this up. Here is D1. This is the third last square that we haven't mapped, and the only 2 that will remain after we finish this one are both in the Desert of Desolation, which is has proven to be quite difficult, so we won't face it at this point. There's a welcome change here to not have to deal with the endless amount of lava, so the going is pretty quick. 2 dragons here, just taking a stroll. Okay, here is some sort of lair. X12, Y14. This is probably the dragon's cavern. It's potentially valuable for us to go in there at some point. We will note it down. So we now have potentially 3 different dungeons that we need to go finish up. This square absolutely had the look of a square that had some sort of fight in it, so I figured I'd approach it. This is obviously some sort of boss battle with Bozorg the orc, so we'll take it on. Looks to be fairly easy. The game sometimes and most often makes it fairly obvious if something is a square that is triggered from the left or right. Red Duke and Deadeye are free, hire a total 4, okay. We found 2 additional hirelings. It's obvious in this case that there is something happening here because it's enclosed by mountains from both sides. So it was obvious that we needed to check it out. Now let's see. The sign said no orc jokes. Aye. Once in a while the game still manages to amuse me a little bit. More of these earthworms, they don't like disintegration very much, so beat them down using that spell. Single square here with water on it. Some little pond here. Okay, the sign here says Bozorg's Dominion. So it's all very clearly labeled. You're not supposed to miss it. Another battle here, this time around seemingly more powerful. We have something here called the Dragon Lord. I will cast the protection spell, and we just got turned to stone. I will remove that condition. We're very lucky if that's the only thing that this particular dude can do to us. We can throw disintegration at him. That makes me wonder how many hit points he has. We've already taken, but he goes down. Okay. Okay. These are worthwhile battles. You're gaining quite a bit of golden gems. We need the work on water spell again. More of these earthworms here. And even more. Two of the cloud dragons. It's obvious that this cave that we found here earlier is a dragon's cave. It's this entire place is filled with all manners of the different dragon-based monsters in the game. And as I remember, the dragon's cave in the first game was really the point of the game where you made the most money. The dragons always seem to have a lot of money. Oh, we made a mistake here and left the map, so we'll have to have this fight with the wyverns here again. And there are more of them here. This map is significantly easier than E1 was. Oh, that was nice. We seem to have stepped into some sort of death square. Found ourselves very much, at least one character is completely dead. We will let's travel to Atlantium and restore our condition and run back to, might even run back to Middlegate to restore our condition. There's a significant price hike in doing so here. Because restoring the eradicated condition is significantly more expensive than restoring death. We'll use the time while we're here to train up. We have a few party members that are already ready for level 24, and we have a few that are on the verge, so we'll probably be able to level up the rest of them during this sitting. Let's use the town portal spell again and go back to Atlantium. Where do we find ourselves? We're here, okay. Check into the hotel here and continue mapping. Square that we just hit earlier will be marked on the map. Or have this annoying fight with the kobolds here once more. You remember the shape of the dungeon and where the goodies are in the Dragon Cave in this game, or? Yeah. Now, again. I thought it was a few squares over, but it seems that even approaching it means immediate death, so we will go back to middle gate, and luckily it was the higher link this time around, so we don't really have to pay for it, but still annoying. Let's see. Let's go back to Volcania. Sign in. And go back outside. You would figure that the kobolds had learned by this point to leave us alone, but alas no, they have not. So okay, there is more than one of these, so judging from this, it's obvious that they are protecting something. There is probably something there in the middle. Nestled before you is a peaceful goblin village whose destiny is to be slaughtered by ruthless adventurers. Of course we will attack. It's obvious. There's absolutely nothing wrong with staying here for a bit and bashing some 250 goblins. So we have 4 caves now that we need to visit here on the maps. Potentially 4. The one in B2 might, or the one in B1. One of those might potentially be an encounter, not a cave. At least there's probably at least one cave there. We need to visit and finish. There are not a lot of caves in this game on the outside. There are a few, but on average there is not more than maybe every other map. There might be 10 or so. It's not really much more than that. We finished the goblin village here, and we will not be stupid enough to run directly into this again. We really got no warning that this was about to happen. Dead zone radiation, it reads. And okay. You have to visit these squares to map them, so it will simply have to be this way. I will go to mitigate and restore our condition here at a price. And then we will go back to Volcania and save our position here and continue this. Have the fight with the kobolds once more. We are slowly running out of food here. We will have to go back soon and get some food. We sort of have to finish this radiation zone here first. I don't know how many times we need to die, but apparently quite a few times. Chances are there is something valuable there in the middle that we want, so I will now do a teleport spell and go 2 squares forward, and a scorching wind burns your soul and a blinding light pierces your brain. Your skin bubbles as unbearable pain moves like lightning through your body and leaves no traces of life. So we died. There is indeed pretty much an unmappable square there in the middle. I will it must, however, serve a purpose, so we will do is we will skip it for now, but we will still visit the squares surrounding it to map them. Go back and erase the characters. That's all we can do. Need to go 3 squares forward now. This time it's William Tell that finds himself eradicated. We'll go back to Millgate. Visit the temple. Restore his condition. Save. I might as well just run from Middlegate. I'm getting fairly tired of these endless meetings with the kobolds. Oh, there's one more square there. So quite a few. And in the end this will end up costing us a lot of money to fix. No. We already killed all the goblins, so we don't need to kill them all again. Whoa, wait. This is a different goblin village, not the same one. We already slaughtered the other one, so let's do this one as well. Fight every fight once. Then we'll go get killed by the radiation once more, hopefully for the last time. I'm assuming that if we return here in a different time zone, this will indeed not be filled with radiation, so I'm assuming the square serves a purpose sometime earlier in the game in terms of time. Now, we obviously haven't been selling our loot. We are having issues now where we are finding stuff that we can't fit in the backpack, which is not good. Need to go 3 squares forward here. Again, it's William Tell. I would very much prefer this to be a hireling so we don't have to pay for it, but alas, perhaps not our choice. Let's sell some of this loot here. Undoubtedly, Lord Haart also has some stuff here to sell. Not worth very much. Okay. Let's save just in case. Yeah, you do get some hints sprawled around various places in the game that you have to piece together to figure out what the story is. There's what I like about these games is that there is a pretty solid story. I have to wonder if is there indeed more of this radiation here. Will I die? No. I will not. This, however, is marked dead zone radiation. I assume that the squares around it are also covered with radiation, so pretty well marked at this point. So I guess we're done with this for now. Just have to be careful not to step into it again. As I say, there is a sign, so okay, we're done with this square, and this is potentially then again a whole other square. Put this integration spell here, get rid of these wyverns. Recuperate some of the gold that we spent. Restore guard condition here from the another goblin village. We will definitely kill them as well. We've already done the other two. Might as well finish this one as well. Bit of target practice. See here. These fights really aren't worth very much, but they're worth having anyway. We'll have every fight at least once. Do I seek the Sword of Nobility? You bet I do. This is the final sword in this quest here. I'll kill these priests here. We're out of food. I forgot that we needed to go buy food. We'll make some by magic. And finally we find the noble sword, and we have all 3 of these swords. Finally, this is the final quest in the... I think it was in Castle Woodhaven that this quest was, and we might as well, on our way back, just finish this particular quest, get it done with, and hope that we get a little bit of experience or some item or something we can use from it. And we will go back to B1, finish up the dungeons there. We are now done mapping every square except for E2 and E3. So we're done with 18 squares out of 20 in the game. That's decent progress. I'll sell these here, recuperate some of the costs we've already had, and visit the tavern, buy some food, check into the inn, and visit the training grounds. Magic of the spell was ready for level 24. So Roland is about 75 away, and William Tell is about 150 away. They are both fairly close. They will level up soon. We are getting there. Now let's go visit Castle Woodhaven. Still don't have the key, but the we go through the guards now like a hot knife through butter. You basically wipe out the entire cast of them without losing a single hit point. Here's the joke of the day: what party game? Pin the horse on the dragon. Now let's go visit our good friend. Oh god, we need a crusader. You'll need to go and get Rogue. I think I left him in Middlegate last time around, although I might be mistaken. No, he's here. I think he's a crusader. I think yes, he is. And a cheap one at that. I think he has most of his items still. Yes, he does. So we'll simply use Stroke as a crusader. We'll bring him along with us when we need to. Ah yes, the electric axe. I forgot about that. We can fix that, and we will. We'll simply buy this elixir and remove our quest. We have a new joke of the day. Why do orc women wear high-heeled shoes? To keep their knuckles from dragging on the ground. The huge chamber is overstocked with many unusual items. Lord Haart begs your party for a favor. Will you gather more items for him? Yes, we will. We will take the Lord's quest. Your party must bring me the 3 hidden swords of chivalry, valor, honor, and nobility. Good luck. Now, we happen to have all of these. You have done everyone a great service and you shall be rewarded. You earn 100,000 experience points. Okay. That was certainly worthwhile. 100,000 is definitely something. And We got rid of all of the useless items as well, so that's also good. We gained some additional slots to use for other things. Let's travel back to mitigate here. This means we can level up at least one of the characters. We gained 12 hit points. Now Lord Haart needs 136 and William Toast needs 46,000. What we will do now is check in here, and then we will go on a little killing spree to gain a little bit of extra experience to level the two of them up and bring everybody to the same level. We will go kill some horsemen. I'll bring Frog along with us for good luck, if nothing else. We got attacked by while resting, which is always very bad. I don't think I can be bothered to fix this. We'll just go back and try this again. Three done. Four done. Five done. Six done. Seven done. Head back, check. How many more we need? This is some sort of cold that's been. My kids have all had this. At least I haven't gone to work now for a while. The current COVID situation. It's probably not wise to go to work even if you have a cold. But very little fever with this. It's just mostly annoying throat ache and a little cold. So. Sounds worse than it actually is, but I'm feeling a little bit down, must admit. You need 52,000 more. That's basically 5 fights. Let's go back. Have a few more. Now we need 40,000. And now we need 28,000. Now we only need 16,000. $4,000. We will do one more and then head back. Train up the archer. Sell some of this stuff. Now. Dismiss Rogue again. We don't need him anymore. Or perhaps we do. Let's go, since we are... as we have him in the party anyway. Let's go visit Lord Peabody in the Castle Pinehurst. We found his advisor Sherman, so perhaps he will now let us use the time machine. Let's pay him a visit here. On the way back we can stop and see if the circus is back in town. Now the throne room was here. Don't come back without Sherman, okay. That must mean that Sherman is at one of the inns. So we will have to go looking for him. Seems likely that he is at Atlantium based on where we saved him, so let's see if he's just sitting there at the inn, having a lot of fun. That's my son's truck in the background. Sherman is here. He's a paladin. Level 13. That's is he actually a crusader? Of course he is. So that's very useful. We can remove Drogue and leave him here and take Sherman with us instead. So that's a good exchange. We will I think I will use the town portal to go back to Middlegate instead of running around half the map. And we will go from here over back to Castle Pinehurst. Cross this off our list of things to do here. Of course, we will force our way in here. Hopefully not killing Sherman in the progress, but no, he didn't even get hit. Thank you very, very much. You've done well. As a reward, you may use the time machine in the corner. That is excellent news. Lord Peabody, that is indeed excellent news. So we can basically now travel in time. Okay, so we can go here anytime we want now and use the time machine. That is absolutely excellent. We've completed that part of the game. We're that much closer to being at the end. On the way back, let's check if the circus is here. We have a few caverns to complete before checking up for the night. I think we have quite a bit yet left still. Where is the circus again? Is it here? No, it's here. No, the circus is not back yet. But we will go back to mitigate anyway and save the progress that we had at the castle and sell some of these items as well, so we don't have them on us. We have exactly 444,444, and we are very close to having exactly 1,200,000 experience as well. Let's head back out and finish up the squares that we left here in B1. The first one was in X5, Y5, that is Lord Haart. Yes. Yes. Two of my ancestors held items of legend which brought great honor to the House of Haart. In the 7th century, Spas Twit owned the Phaser. Let's see. Write this down. Two of my ancestors held items of legend which brought great honor to the House of Haart. In the 7th century, Spas Twit owned the Phaser. In the 8th century, a man known simply as the Long One owned a ceremonial loincloth. Return these items to me, and you shall be rewarded. Okay, we already heard about the Spas Twit. And we know where he is. He is in the 7th century, A1, X11, Y3. So we already got that clue. And I think we heard about the other one as well. Lord Haart's famous ancestor, the Long One, hangs out in the 8th century in E2 at X5, Y4. Okay, so we do in fact know where both of these items are. So, we already have access to the time machine, so potentially we could just go do this right now. There's nothing really stopping us from doing so, so we might as well. It's at least a task that we can probably complete, so let's go over to Castle Pinehurst. And use the time machine and go fetch these items. I assume these will be difficult battles. I wonder if we have to bring Sherman with us every time we visit Lord Haart, or whether we can simply dismiss him. Let's see. What era No, we are not sure, but probably 7. Year 700, okay. That would then be the correct area. We are in E1. Very close to where Haart is, actually. So we want to go to A1 X11Y3. Which is basically almost directly behind the town. We are in A1, right? Ah, this is where the being English and being Icelandic differs. When they say the 7th century, they probably mean from 600 up. Whereas when I say 7th century, I mean from 700 to 800. So that is not the same time. So this particular game, we should be obviously dead here. We will just allow them to kill us off. I will we'll visit Lord Haart again. That will not take us very long. Yes. We already did all of this. We'll go back to Pinehurst. And this time we will travel to the correct century. We'll start out with the quest there in A1. Worry about so era 6 is where we want to go. This is the year 600 and here we are in E3. Not a good location to be. Where we want to be is A1. So we will have to walk very carefully here. This is no doubt filled with endless amount of encounters, of which many are probably very difficult. I will cast a protection from element spell here at least. We will make our way down to the road. I will run away from this battle, see if we can make it through. No getting around this battle here. We will have to take some other path. Perhaps we should just use the teleport spell to try to get ourselves between the areas. Might be easier. That's we'll visit Haart here again and take the task, and then I will go back to Middlegate and save that position so we don't have to visit him again, and then we'll continue. Now we've taken the task, saved here. Let's go back to Castle Pinehurst. Now, We managed to get out of this one, so that was good. We managed to get out to the road. That was also good. So let's jump 9 square now. We managed that, and we need to get to A1, so that's quite a bit of a ways away. Go 9 squares further here, which basically means we're at the point of the bridge isn't here. No, we will have to walk over. Town of Middlegate is not here. Have to teleport quite a few here. Probably be a good idea to teleport to the road on the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Go 8 squares here, up. Put it up here. Oh, okay. I did not know that was possible, but I do now. So you can actually, if you teleport out of the map, you will actually end up on the other side. Now we're in C1. We are almost there. With B1, let's teleport 9 squares. Still okay. Let's teleport 5 more. Now we're in A1 and we only have a few squares to go. We are in A1, X11, Y3. Unconquerable spars Twit and his mighty phaser on this area. Do you challenge their dominion? Well, do we? Of course we do. There's the Twit. What a twit. I'll cast a power shield here. I have no idea how powerful these guys are. I assume they are pretty much invincible. See. He's dead, so take down the knights. And we find the phaser. I assume this weapon is pretty much killer. Let's see. Take a quick gander at the properties of this weapon here. No, it's actually not a weapon. It just gives you +5 accuracy and gives you the disintegration spell. So we found the phaser, and the question now remains, how is it that we get back to our time? Do we visit is the time machine in the castle? Can we go there? We got very unlucky now. Got extremely unlucky now. We ended up straight in the fight there. For all the time we spent getting there safely, we got very dead. So that square is out of the picture. We will have to go back and do this all over again. At least we know we can't land in that particular square. We'll just have to learn where we can and where we can't be. There are only a few squares that have monsters, and we need to figure out which one there are. They undoubtedly change the different areas, so it's just the way it is. Now, here we managed we can go down here to the road, and then we can basically go 9 squares forward. We already tried this, and then we can walk out of the map. That is fine. Take the turn, and I know we can go 9 squares up from here. Then we can leave the map and go over here. And what we did last time and succeeded in doing was going here and then jumping 8 squares. That's fine. We already did that. That worked out fine. And then we were able to take this turn here and go into B1, and then we took, I think we took 9 forward, which is safe. We're in X6 now. Then we took 5 forward again. We managed to get here and fight the sparse twit and his knights. We actually did just fine doing so. It wasn't even a particularly difficult battle. And we find a phaser, and we should probably rest, recuperate. Now we're in X1. We'll jump 8 squares forward now. We are safe here. We are in 9. Let's go further 5. We're in C1. We are safe to do this turn here. Go down here. We know we can go 8 forward. That lands us on the road here over to Pinehurst. Now this is potentially dangerous here. We need to get through this entire map here. We need to get lucky. Let's go another 5. We made it through. We're in A2. Now we need to go some further 5. Let's hope that we don't die here. On the road to the castle, let's hope it's still here. No, it's not. How is it that we get back? How can we get back? Can we simply cast the Town Portal spell? Yes, we can. It's still the year 600 though. There's nothing happening here. We can't even get out. Hmm. How do we get out of this point in time? Now that we found the phaser. There's nothing in this town in any case. It doesn't exist in this point in time. We can go in here, but it doesn't work. Makes you wonder if any of the towns work. Probably they don't. There are monsters here, but we can indeed go to basically every town, so Tundara is not here either. Now, the time machine must simply be in another location at this point, but how do we get out of the town again after casting the spell? Because we can't use the exit. I have a feeling we are basically locked in at this moment and that we will not be able to do anything before we'll have to quit and restore. We can easily do this again. It isn't really all that complicated. The question just remains, where exactly is the time machine? We will have to find it. It's somewhere. Potentially in the castle where we found the ruins. Where was that again? That was in C2 in X14Y8. Potentially that is where we need to go. Let's try this again. I love the fact that this game has all of these puzzles that you basically need to solve, and that it's not all obvious. You need to do a little bit of your own thinking. Can't just march forward endlessly and finish the game in 20 hours. It takes an enormous amount of time to do this correctly. Now, we've done this a few times. It's not that hard. We need to go down to the road here, and then we need to go forward some 9 squares and leave this map here. Go back on the road here, go up again some 9 squares. We can safely go all the way over here without having any sort of issue. Need to walk on the water, and we can go here and into the woods far enough to get down the road, then we can go up 8 squares. And we can take this turn, go here, go forward 9, go forward again some 5. I missed again. There we go. And then we can fight the Sparstvit. It's an easy enough fight, we'll just fight him now and kill him. Can't be bothered to even rest or cast any spells. And we find the phaser again, and then it's just a matter of getting back. We can go 9 here, that worked fine, and we can go 5 again, that also works fine. Get out of here, and I know we can go here and have this turn and go down here, and then we can go 8 down to put us back on the road, and we know for a fact that we can take the road here. We can go here. The castle is just over here. It should be safe to walk. The castle is not there at this point in time. Are we in the correct location? It's supposedly here. Castle is not here. Okay. Question remains. Are any of the other castles still here? We need to check that out. Let's go down 8 squares. End up basically here. And then go here. Need to go 9 squares here. Luckily there aren't really a lot of encounters here, but if we have one, we're basically dead. Let's try 5 squares, then another 9. This castle is not here. Okay. How is it that we are supposed to be able to get away from here? We have no spells that I can think of that would help us do that. We've tried visiting at least 2 of the castles without any luck. I tried town portal earlier. We end up in town, but we can't get out of it. So essentially we are locked in the towns. There's nothing in the town actually works. I've tried visiting the castle ruins. Castle isn't there. And I've tried visiting Castle Pinehurst. It's not there. I tried visiting Castle Hillstone. It's not there. I have not tried visiting the Luxus Palace. Potentially it's still there. But getting there is going to be a bit of a pain in the ass. Because we definitely do not want to have any encounter with anything. Let's try here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. Potentially the Luxus Palace Royale is still there. This is not good. We managed to run away. We got extremely lucky this time around. Wait, where is it that we wanted to go? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Maybe we can go one forward here, then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 up. I think that's... And land us in the middle of a rocky terrain here, and then we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here. Jesus Christ. Now we're dead. That was not good at all. Let's try this once more. We need to figure out a way to get back. Let's see. We might as well do our best to find this. See if we can actually find the palace. First, let's go 5 squares up here. Press night directs to the palace. Palace is in fact not here at all. Okay. Know for a fact that this cave is in fact not here. We have not tried Korak's cave. We can try if that's there. Korak had some luck with the time machine. Maybe it's possible that he's there. No, Korak's cave is in fact not here. Did we already check if Castle Woodhaven was there? I think we did. I'll check anyway. It's not here. None of the castles are here in this point in time. So where is it that we can go to get ourselves out of this mess? Potentially we could try visiting the radiation area. It shouldn't really be all that difficult. Let's jump some line forward here. Don't feel very comfortable traveling on the road. It seems like a bad idea. There's no sign at least, and we can safely map these squares. So the radiation damage hasn't been done. There is also nothing here. Nothing there either. This is pre-radiation, obviously, and we have no idea what we're doing here. Town isn't here. I'm thinking perhaps one way of doing this is using the elemental plane to go back and then returning using that way back to our time. Maybe that's the way to do it. Let's go take care of Lord Spas and his merry men. So much teleport. Yes, we do. Now. Let's kill these suckers off here and find the phaser, and then using this new idea of mine, I'm going to travel to the end of this map here. Which I have no idea whether it works or not. Can't use teleport spell here. It's interesting. That is interesting. So I have to go up here. I'll cast the protection from element spell here. It's extremely dangerous to go here without having it cast. I'm at the end here, and I can't travel, can't use the square. This is very weird, must be said. There is not even a clue as to how we could potentially get out of this situation here. Nothing, absolutely no clue as to how we could be potentially able to get out of here. Okay, all of a sudden we are back. It's interesting. That is very interesting. Okay, potentially we just need to be there for 3 days, and we will automatically be returned after being there for 3 days. That's perhaps just a way to do it. At least we've completed the first one. Let's go to the 7th century. And find the other item. I assume that one is going to be a little bit more difficult. That's in the 8th century, so that's era 7. We find ourselves here in the middle of B1, which is not a good place to be. Let's teleport ourselves a little bit here. The last square in B1 happens to be an encounter that is less than great. We bypass it. Now we need to get to, I think it's E1 actually. E2, it's E2, not E1. Okay, it's in the middle of the desolate desert. That's it's not what I would call fun, but let's see. You know this is safe. C2 now. D2. Let's try going 8 squares forward. That's okay, so let's go 7 more. We find ourselves in E2. We need to get to X5, Y4. So that's exactly 5 squares forward. And this is an encounter. Plenty of these interesting characters here. I have no idea how difficult these are. This Guardian Hound is a real pain in the ass. So is this Devil's Envoy. Let's cast the power shield here. Use the Moon Ray as well. We really need to get rid of some of these, at least the ones that are causing all of this damage here. Devil's Envoy is a real pain in the butt. Luckily the power shield is mostly holding. The Devil's Envoy is not kidding around. He has something like a... He seems to have hundreds of hit points, if not thousands of hit points, so he's doing a real number on us here. Down goes the Crusader, and finally we also get rid of the devils. Where's the loincloth that we were promised? We are certainly in the 8th century in E2 at X5, Y4. Where is our loincloth? Now, why didn't this work? This is weird. The charismatic shaman known as the Long One kneels before you. He leads his followers in meditation. Do you disrupt? This is not the correct location, it's reversed. This is X4Y5. Maybe I wrote it down wrong. In case this is a difficult battle again. Very, 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 very difficult. So that was fun. You think we're dead? I think we're dead. Okay, at least we know where he is. Let's make another attempt at the long one. We sort of want to be able to cast a power shield before he gets very far in casting his own spells. That was nasty. Let's try it again. Cast the protection from element spell as well before we go into this battle. Potentially that helps us a little bit. Long one appears to be a real piece of work. Now let's see, we need to get back there. Let's travel some 8 squares here in this direction. Accidentally the wrong one. Forgot about this. There's a dragon there on the last square. So we are safe here on this road, it seems. C2 is mostly safe. E2 is probably not. We skipped most of it last time. We'll do it again. 9. Followed by another 6. Now we're in E2. Now it was the other way around, so it's 4, 5. So we need to go up 1 square and then 4 forward here. Cast the protection from element spell. Now we should rest, recuperate all of our spell points. Cast the protection from element spell here. Then move 4 squares forward. There he is. What a piece of work he is. This was slightly better. It was not great, but it was slightly better. Let's cast a power shield. And let's use the power cure on William Tell. Chances are Sherman is about to die, but we might survive this attack with the power shield on. It's still extremely difficult. There are like 30 of these crazy natives here. It's a crazy amount of them, and they all get a turn because they keep dying. Jesus Christ, we survived somehow. I will heal the sorcerer, we will need him. Try to cast a dancing sword, take down the rest of these absolute killers. We managed to make it through. You strip the long cloth off his body. Okay. We rest. We find a trap. Should probably revive Sherman. He's very much dead. Rest again. Now there's nothing to do for us here except rest until we get taken back. And there we go. We already figured that out. We just need to rest 3 or 4 times and we get taken back. Okay, so now we have the +7 loincloth. Wonder what this item does in this game. Let's look it up on the list of items here. It does absolutely nothing, so the fact that it's a +7 makes absolutely no difference. It's a +7 to something that does nothing. It is in fact a nothing +7. Now let's go. Where's Lord Haart? He was in 5-5. Yes. Thank you so much. The House of Haart is indebted to you. You shall receive 250,000 experience. Search now for your golden gems. Okay. Certainly a worthwhile side task. This is probably not the only time task in the game by any means, but we can cross it off our list. And go sell some of this stuff here and probably buy some food since we're here anyway. You might as well have Sherman in the party. He's a healer and he's very cheap, so perhaps you'll just keep him for now. Probably leveled at this stage. How much is he now? 1800 per day. Seems fairly expensive actually, but sign the registry, save this progress. Easy way to make 250,000 experience in any case. Or easy, it took us quite some time. So head back over to B1 and take a look at the other square that we hadn't completed there, which is waiting for us in the middle of the map there. Let's go up. I think it's 9 squares that we need to go up here. Yes. This is the Tundra Cave. We've not been in here before. Start a new section here in the document. Now we finished all of this. A very long corridor here, seems to go all the way through. Females only. Set the sign. You must obey the sign. Fine. We will return here later. X14, Y7. We will return here later with a female only cast. Orc retreat, it says on the sign. So assume that we are in for a fight with some orcs, and we are 160 of them. And they added some future friends, so there are still now 192 of them left. Lots of fun to be had here. "68 of them left still, and oddly enough, they are at least not running away. They are mostly staying and fighting. Sherman is dead again. I would say he's a bit of a drag on the party. I might as well dismiss him. He serves little point. No, they don't really. They're really trying, but our armor class now, the top 5 members have something like almost 50 in our armor class, so they can't really get any blows in. They're the Pink Panther, the thief, that only has 22. He took about 100 hit points, but I will revive Sherman and dismiss him. Makes no sense to be bringing him along here. I wonder if this served any purpose. Gold here, it said. Each share is worth 833 gold, so we found some gold just lying around. There's a hidden area here behind this. So go there. Oh, this is actually a decent battle. Okay, we're done with this. Let's move along. Ogre's Pantry, set the sign. I assume that we're going to have a fight with some ogres here. "45 of them. Let's our spell level seems to have been reduced significantly, so yeah, we have to use some old-fashioned ways here. These were lucky, these are only ogres, it could be worse. Still have the lightning bolt spell, we can use that to our advantage. Just like one of these good old fights that we used to have. And we can formally just fight them like this because in reality we only need to take a few of them down. We can still heal, we have all of the healing spells. So we should be able to just do this. They however do hit hard, so when they manage to take a blow they cause quite some damage. 15 of them left now, done about 2/3 of them. If someone reminded us to how powerful the later level spells in the game are, you've gotten totally used to being able to just wipe all of these out with simple spells. But we found a decent amount of gold, and we found a +3 giant sling. Let's see what the giant sling is. Okay, it's a weapon, but it's a ranged weapon, which is not something that we really use. With potentially we could give it to Sir Hiron, remove his crossbow and equip this giant sling instead. It gives almost 20 damage, and it increases your resistance to poison as well, so that's potentially a useful weapon. You should probably think about casting the rejuvenate spell on Sir Hiron. He seems to be have aged quite a bit. Now this sign says males only, it's in X14Y8. We need to return here with a male only cast. Must obey the sign. They're very picky about the sign. Walk down here again. Seems to be basically the same corridor, or at least very similar. Now these guardian hounds are a real pain in the butt. Cause a lot of damage. Knights are not nearly as difficult. But are still certainly worthy adversaries. This was a much more difficult fight than we found here so far. Okay. And again, there is a hidden area there behind it. We will go there. I really don't like the seductress, I must say. She's not a favorite of mine, but alone. She isn't that difficult. You just need to take her down before she can attack you. Now, should we take one more of these before returning? Thieves' Corner. 200 muggers. That should take a while. Well, they were probably mostly running away, so probably won't take all that long. Running away faster than I can actually beat them down. Of course they add friends, so now 200 of them again. Yeah, there are quite a few of these battles with the lower level enemies in pretty much every corner of the game. Now we found a looter's knife +5, which is a decently good weapon for the thief. However, I'm not entirely convinced that we can use it. I'll take a quick look here. Filled all of our backpacks with all sorts of pretty crappy stuff. Let's trade this down to the rubber and see if we can equip this. Yes, we can. It brings the thievery up to 123%, and we can then remove the pick and sell it. And then potentially give him another defensive ring to increase his armor class, which is actually very valuable to us because he's fairly rarely in the front and you mostly uses the crossbow and not the knife. This was a good fight here. I wish I had more of these emerald rings and were able to get them. If I had known that we would have problems going back for them, I would have done something sooner. But alas, that's just the way it is. You can still go to Atlantium and pick up a defense ring +2. That will at least give us some 7 or so additional AC, which is quite a bit. He only has 22, so that's a percentage-wise a decent hike. There's not a lot happening here. Very little, in fact. Absolutely nothing here at all. Teleport 1 square here. And go to the other side and finish that off as well, and then return to town, the back cave. Now we get to fight with 200 and something bloodsuckers, probably 250 of them. And as with the thieves, they are mostly running away, so this will not be a quick fight, but it won't take forever either. Seems that this is mostly a fight, and then you find one decently valuable item. Here we found a dagger plus 15, which is actually a decently good weapon. And we could potentially give that to the sorcerer. Dagger is one of very few weapons you can actually use. She currently has a staff plus 1, which does very little actual damage. So I will find some space here. I'll remove the staff, trade it up to Sir Hiron or William Tell, and go find the dagger, see if we can actually equip it. The advantage of these things is that they are not tied to a certain alignment, so that means we are mostly able to use them. And so this is another decently good find here. Certainly does more damage. It's not common that we use the sorcerer as a melee fighter in a battle, but does sometimes happen, and it certainly helps that she's then actually able to cause some damage. She had a fairly crappy weapon which only dealt about 7 in damage. The sorcerer is very limited in the melee weapons she can use, and the original dagger only has some 6 in damage. Whereas this, which is a plus 15 item, has 21 in damage, so it's like a two-handed knight weapon. And damage-wise, certainly far more capable. So, we're about halfway done here. We'll take a little break from the cavern and head back to Tundara to sell this stuff. Now this elven cloak is obviously very valuable. I'll take a better look into exactly what it is that this does. Trade some of this stuff here up. To sell. Let's take a look at what this elven cloak does. It gives you a +5 armor bonus. So it's essentially like a defense ring, but can be worn by the archer. However, he is already wearing 2 emerald rings, so it isn't really a useful item for our particular archer. Since it only gives +6, whereas the defense ring gives you a +15. Let's use the opportunity to, I'll save first, but let's go over to Atlantium and buy a defense ring +2 at the blacksmith there. He's the only one that sells them in the game. But that will give us a little bit of a boost here. Goes from 22 to 26. Boost of 4, that's certainly better than nothing. I would very much like to find an additional emerald ring, but it's not likely that we will find one just lying around. We might get one later in the game. I already tried the duplicate item spell with the emerald rings that we already have, and I wasn't successful. It seems that it simply doesn't work on that particular item. Let's head back to the cave. Might as well start from the other end. Beware net rest, set the sign. So these are potentially 200 rapid rodents. Yeah, +5 and higher is usually good, but if you're finding a very low value items, even a +10 is maybe not very useful. It sort of depends on what you find. It's particularly valuable when you find these items which, for example, with a sorcerer who is so limited in what she can actually wear, then finding something like an armor +10 that a sorcerer can wear, or a weapon +10 that a sorcerer can use, is very valuable, because you can then potentially use that, but +15 dagger isn't really a useful item for a knight, for example. So sort of depends on what you're looking for. And obviously the higher plus, the higher the value of the item usually is, and also then fetches a better resale price. You can at least sell it for gold. The only real problem we have armor-wise now is the robber. That only has some 26. That's actually fairly low, so I would very much like to find some better armor for him. And we found some magic meals. We might as well just use them. Yeah, we could potentially enhance some of the items, and that's one of the things that we will look at doing at a later point. Now, it's the last day of the year, so we'll try to... Yeah, I believe this version is also capped at 255. I think that's basically all you can do. Sort of makes sense not to be able to way overdo it. Yeah, but I also don't want to perhaps use too much of these enhancements, because using too much feels a little bit like you're cheating. But obviously some of the fights that are left in the game are so difficult that we will need to do something about them. There's very little actually going on in this place except for these fairly strenuous battles with the multitude of monsters. A welcoming committee, it says there on the sign. Assume that's sarcasm. Oh, great. Sprites. I really don't like the sprites, I must say. I really dislike them. I will not fight them because what they do is they steal gems, and I really dislike that. Even if you beat pretty much all of them, they still steal almost all of your gems. Something that I find highly annoying. Did not actually mean to get back into this battle here. Did so by accident. This is where I was going to go. I'm just gonna skip this battle with the sprites. It serves very little purpose to us, really. There are some gems here, 500 in this corner, which is very, very welcome. The problem with that is that you probably lost as many or more fighting the stupid sprites. So you get a reward, but don't fight the monsters. Rarely have I done it in this game, but I simply can't afford to lose all of my gems. They're not that easy to come by. They are in fact very hard to come by in the game. Now, 50 crazed dwarves. That's a lot of crazed dwarves. And our spell level has been reduced significantly. That's difficult. Sort of makes you wonder if we will even survive this, because there are 50 of them here. 50 is a huge number, and we can't even cast a defensive spell. Chances are we will all end up dead. Yep. We almost survived, but if we had survived, we would have survived with an incredibly low number of alive party members. So that was annoying. Have to have some of these fairly tedious battles here again. But, let's go. Let's fight these rats here. Yeah, this game was certainly built in a time where games were meant to last for a long time, and that is definitely the case here. It's takes a long time to finish. There's a lot of things that you need to do, not all of which often feel like you're making much progress. This cave, for example, is mostly pointless to us at this level in the game. But for the sake of completeness, we'll complete everything in the game. There might still be items or messages here that we need to see and read. Go the rafts. Not much problems. Again, we find the magic meals, and again, we will go here inside the walls and map this out. Then we'll jump over to the other side and map this out. We'll bypass the pixies. Or run away from them. I think we will just run away here. Yeah. No. Did we lose any gems? No, we did not. Good. Problem is we will run into the trap here, so we'll face them again and be able to run away again. In fact, now I'll finish this part off here. Supposed to go 2, not 1. There's nothing happening in here, so it's just a matter of mapping this fairly large hidden area here. It was in fact when we got out of this that we ended up in some pretty interesting problems. We'll go 2 forward here. Go back. To Tundra. Sign in. And go out again in case we end up in a battle with these dwarves again. And we might possibly survive if we are very lucky, sort of depends. Short and insane, these are our friends. By protection from the elements, it doesn't really or shouldn't really help, but now we at least get to go first, and we are still in the situation where we are heavily reduced in our standing. Let's quit here, reload. It's just a matter that we need to rest here before going for this battle. Probably. It's been a while since we rested. Potentially the sprites managed to take away some of our magical casting abilities, and that is potentially why we had so much trouble casting the spells against the dwarves. It's not a good idea to go into a fight with the dwarves at less than full strength. But it seems that the trap that we end up in, it basically halves our magical level, so William Tell is now at a far worse position than he should be. And again, they frenzy and potentially killing every one of us, depending on how this goes. Very likely. And it will simply never be our turn, because It will just kill us off here. Make one more attempt at this, and if that doesn't work, we'll leave them. Potentially, if we avoid the trap, we can do this differently. I should have tried that. If we jump directly into the square, avoiding the trap, we might be able to avoid losing the spell level. It's really just detrimental to us, absolutely detrimental. This is going slightly better than it did last time. We are taking less damage. I still doubt we survive this. There are still 26 of them left here. What a craze. Yeah, we will survive this. With 1, 2, 3 dead. Yeah, we survived, but it isn't really worth it. Let's try skipping the trap, seeing if we can take care of them. Then it matters a lot that we're able to cast some advanced magical spells before ending up in this situation here. Well, let's try that. At about 9. Yes. Now we want to go 1, 2, 3, 4 forward. Directly into the dwarves. Let's attack them. We caught them by surprise, and now we have full level, so we're able to take down quite a few of them. I will also cast the shield. Although teleport is useful in many cases to avoid traps, it's also useful that you don't have to endlessly search for entrances to some of the secret rooms. So it does serve many purposes in the game, but certainly it's only really a valuable combat spell when you can use it to do something like this. Now we were able to reduce their numbers considerably, so and our level is also higher, so we are able to do considerably more damage. So we will come out of this with barely a scratch. The power shield is saving our ass here. We get a decent amount of golden gems, a +3 speed boots. I assume this is a speed enhancement. Which is potentially useful if we didn't already really have no character that is able to take real advantage of it. It's one of our problems right now is that we simply don't have any more. We don't have any more slots to equip. So it's actually a bigger problem than anything else. We could use so many more items if we had more space to equip them. And this will probably be the last thing we do tonight. Finish up this cavern and go to Tundara and rest up. There isn't a lot left of it, but we'll finish it anyway. And tomorrow we can go take a look at that dragon cave, which is potentially a lot more fun and more meaningful to us at this stage in the game. Then we still have some things to do. We still have 2 squares that we haven't mapped. The squares of E2 and E3. The Desert of Desolation that we need to finish off. And after we finish these off, then it's time to return to the castle dungeons and get going with finishing them, and eventually then finding the discs and getting ready to finish the game. There are a couple of probably 4 or 5 streams at least left, but we are starting to see light at the end of the tunnel, and the more fun stuff, leaving the more fun stuff to the latest or final chapters of the story, trying to finish up this things like this cavern here before doing so, because this is not really likely to be very challenging for us. Oh, there's a large hidden area here that we should probably explore. So go in there. We haven't found much of value in them yet, but the game has a way of making sure that you go everywhere, leaving these tiny hints in the most unlikely of places. We could also potentially play around with the time machine, because we still don't know at which point we can return to time to find the castle alive and well. It's a big bug collection. I'm going to jump in front of the trap here, because the bugs are a real pain in the ass. Okay, it's just arachnoids. It could be worse. It could definitely be worse. I was worried these would be killer bees or swarming bees, which are highly annoying. Similar or worse to the dwarves. That's it seems appropriate to attack them with the swarming deadly swarm. Kill off spiders using flies. Only 30 of them left. I think we can just bash them. They're not all that difficult. We survive, find nothing. Found something called a webcaster, which is potentially the a spell. And we have one of these left here. Need to go to the other side here. Goblins. I assume there are hundreds of them. Yes. With the goblin village and the evil forest cave and this, I think we've killed more than 1,500 goblins just on those 5 locations. So we are goblin mass murderers. At least they're not running away. They are bravely fighting us. Though they don't really stand any chance whatsoever. Oh, he added some additional friends, so bringing the total that we're fighting here up to something like 350. $50 left. 300 down, 50 left. Found a cold shield +5. Oh, not many of the characters are actually holding a shield. Very few of them actually. But Pink Panther has a fire shield +4, which is potentially a worse shield, so we might as well sell it. Return with this cavern here. Or return to the Tundra. Make our way over to Tundara, where we'll sell some of this stuff here. Speed boots are very valuable. But we have so little use for them at this point in the game. So I think we'll pack in for tonight. Let's see here. Perhaps worth it to check who's on. Yeah, I think it's just you and me, Gleaser, so we'll skip the raid. It's 1:39 a.m. here on my side. That probably means that it's what, 3:39 on your side. Almost 4 o'clock in the morning. So, yes, the dynamic duo. Yeah, this is a marathon. This is only for the brave to take part in all of this. Let's leave the game here for now. We'll continue tomorrow, or I will at least continue tomorrow. I want to get this done. I will probably finish up the Dragon Cave, depending on how I'm feeling when I start the stream. I might decide to start mapping before I do that or whatever. Okay, we will take on the Dragon Cave if you're here tomorrow. Have a nice night, dude. Have a good sleep. I'll see you here again tomorrow then. Bye for now.